Okay, I had a couple things that I wanted to talk. Like I keep having all these different things coming to me, but I was gonna go somewhere this afternoon, so I was kind of just like in neutral. And for some reason, when you do this, it loses time and space or something, and it's like exhausting. It is like you're pulling these energies that and talking. It just is it's emotionally exhausting. So sometimes, well, for me, could be my brain injury. I don't know. But my brain is just like, okay, I have had enough. So I was just kind of sitting here, and the things kept coming to me, and I kept writing them down. Excuse you, you're gonna fall, lady. And then I was supposed to be leaving, and then my friend texted me, and she had to move the time, and I just wanted to share that whole thing too, because I think this kind of stuff is it's important to me, and I just don't think I'm crazy. I think it's like something that we should all kind of think about. But so she needed to change the time, and I wasn't prepared for the change. I'm thinking it's going to be this one time, and so all day long I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to do this at this time, and then later I'm going to do this, this, and this. So you kind of plan your time around it, and then all of a sudden someone shifts it. It's like, oh, whoa, breaks. And you try and wrap your head around that, like, okay, will that work? Can I do that? And then I started to just be like, well, okay, I want to take my glasses off. It drives me crazy when I'm watching someone's video and they have glasses on, because the reflection is constantly, I don't know, just bugs me. And mine are reading glasses, so. Anyways, so then when somebody does that, and it shifts your whole day around, and I wanted to just be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna stay as long, because then I'm thinking, okay, well, I still gotta do my stuff and get back to my time, so I just won't keep as long a visit, right? And so I started to say that, and then I was like, wait a minute, why would I set that restriction on it? I just bound that experience in by my own expectation, putting limits, putting a parameter, putting a time, any of that stuff. And I think that we need to get more in the mindset of how do we just go with the flow. And I think that it's kind of an island mentality, or it's one of the things that it's in a lot in Latin places. I don't. There's so many words now you're supposed to use to. It's just so confusing. So many. Like I've said before, these categories and subcategories and letters and initial, and it's like, oh my god. So anyways, I was like, why would I put that limitation on this experience? And then I came to me the thought of, well, I need to set my boundary. I've got to still just put it out there. Like, I'm not gonna be home. And then I started to do it. I needed to be home at a certain time. And then it came to me again about go with the flow with the experience. We need to go with the flow. There's one thing that I really liked when I was reading the Buddha Bible, was it was kind of like, and I don't know if there's a bunch of different Bibles. This is just like when you go to the hotel. They have, in Seattle, they had not just the regular Holy Bible. There was a Buddha Bible, and I took mine. They said you could take them, so I took mine, and I read it. And the thing I thought was really cool was it was so much of it was done in, like, I don't even know what they're called, like parables or something, but kind of like stories to teach you something. And it's just a lot of good insights. It's a good philosophy. It's a good way to live. And one of the ones, I think it was in that Bible, it could have been another, but a story that sticks out to me anyways is it was a younger guy and his dad, and they were traveling, and they were going across, I'm not sure what part, but like for geography in Asia. So they were traveling by foot, and they were going, and the dad kept stopping for this or that, and it was really irritating the son. He was getting so mad, and the dad kept saying something, you know, well, we'll get there when we get there, or whatever. And the son was like, you know, we got to go, we got to, you know. And anyways, the story goes longer, but by the time they got to their destination, and they were standing up above it looking down, and it was Hiroshima. It's still just, it gets me emotional every time I think about that. Because why are we rushing to get somewhere that we don't even know where we're going? We don't know what waits ahead. Why don't we just go with the flow? Excuse me, lady. Why don't we just go with the flow, with the experience? Why don't we just follow the signs in between? You know, why don't we spend time getting to know the people that come into our experience that we don't know? One day, and I don't know if I've already told this story, like, if you watch enough of me talking, you'll see, like, you know, I may repeat myself. But when I went to the dog park, I met this, was really young, super cute guy, really cute. He was out there with his dog, and I don't think he had a dog very long. I don't remember the whole thing. And I was out there with mine, and so Stella's size draws a lot of people to want to talk to me about her. And I don't remember if that's what started the conversation, or could have been Stella's weird antics. She does weird stuff. And I don't remember. But I was talking to him for a really long time, and we were talking about dogs. We were talking about all sorts of stuff. And it was such a cool interaction, and it was so enjoyable. And it was those moments. That was it. That was the only time I was ever going to know this person in this lifetime. And I made that experience. You know, it was just really cool. And I wasn't forcing it. He kept asking me questions. And then I just, we just got in this really good conversation. And it was just going and going. Oh my gosh, Stella. And then while that's happening, the you know, more people are coming and stuff, and this little boy came, and he was so small to Stella, and he just started playing with her, and then his dad was there, and so he started asking me questions about what kind of dog and blah blah blah, just asking me stuff, and we were just talking, and so I was kind of talking to all of these three people, and the little boy was having so much fun. He just loved Stella, and it was you know, super cute. It's like that. It's a perfect dog for a little boy to grow up with, and then plus, you know, they don't have a long life, so about the time the kid's about ready to graduate high school, their dog would be dying, and you know, that's a whole thing. But anyways, the little boy was like, when his dad said we got to go, he was asking me, when are you going to be here? I want to see Stella again. I want to see you again, and stuff like that. And it was just like, I don't know. I live out of town. And right after that, my dog, the old dog, was super sick. So we haven't been able to go into the dog park. So I haven't been there at all. But so it's been on my mind that it's crazy. Because I was telling him, I don't know, it's when the universe aligns it again. It's out of my control. We'll just see if our paths cross again. And it's an interesting kind of thing. And I really like dog parks. Oh my gosh, they're so social. People love to talk about their dogs, love to talk about your dogs, love to talk just about whatever once you start talking. And you just meet so many people at the dog park. There should be so many more dog parks. There should be so much more social gatherings. especially around animals and stuff. Animals and little kids just bring people together, you know, birthday parties and stuff. When people get in relationships and their kids start getting to the age where they start having birthday parties, you see like the ones that have kids all kind of start hanging out together because kids bring them together. They find excuses to get together. When you don't have that, there's just you have less things to start getting together for, you know, dinner parties and, you know, like once you get to be an older successful couple, then you run out of other successful couples because a lot of them get married, and if they're going to go and do something, then they're going to go spend time with their kids. And yeah, but that's a whole nother thing. I was just thinking about, you know, my different kids and their different things going on in their lives. But anyways, it's just I think it's important to think about the interactions, to be present in the moment, you know, just like at the park, to just really enjoy that interaction with a stranger. I mean, I don't know how I affected his life, hopefully in a positive way. It's certainly that whole thing affected me in a positive way. And, you know, I like to, if I go someplace, I mean, I'm completely an introvert. I totally enjoy being by myself and just thinking. But I also, if I go and I'm around people, I like to just talk to them. I don't know. I'll start conversations with people, like in a store, tell them something looks good or whatever. I just, I think that socializing and human interaction is super important. And I think it is super important for us to stop putting parameters around things. We're constantly, we don't even have the awareness yet. We're just learning to have the awareness of how to be present. You know, it's been kind of beat out of us or brainwashed out of us. And we're relearning how to be human beings, basically, because we've been repressed and formed what they wanted us to be. And now we're breaking through as individuals and just becoming who we are meant to be, who we want to be, figured out who and what that is. And it's a super beautiful thing, but it's also, it's a lot of work, and it's super hard, and it is, it's just a lot of stuff. But I think that sometimes it's, you know, it's been hard for the people who are going through it when I was going through it, but I think that it is getting to be a little easier because there's a lot more people now who have gone through it. Like, then you start having somebody who is there who can help you with the stuff that they learned. But yeah, when you were going through it before and there wasn't anybody going through it and everybody's telling you you're crazy and something's wrong with you. I mean, there was a point I started watching the sky all the time. I started seeing spaceships, and you can tell. You can totally tell. And it doesn't move the same, nothing. And then I started noticing that, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those pictures, and it's like a 3-dimensional picture, and you look at it and it looks like it like moves and it looks different. Everything started looking like that to me. Everything I started seeing, thinking like, is it turning into a hologram? What is going on? And I would tell people, like, you know, have you noticed the sky? Something's up with the sky. Nobody was noticing. I would say all sorts of stuff, and people would be just like, no, it looks normal. It looks just like regular. What is wrong with you? And stuff like that. And, you know, if anybody who's starting to, it's just, everybody awakens to reality in a different way. And it's a process for everybody. And it is, I've gone and listened to tons of different people, and there's some similarities, but there's also, it's very individual. And, but, you know, I think that it can be a lot easier than what it's been made in the past. I think it's just learning how to get through some of this stuff. And, you know, one of the things I was thinking about too, and it just popped into my head, and I don't know, I'll probably talk more about it at another time, but even, you know, like if you're comfortable with a counselor, great. I have one daughter who's seen a counselor forever. A lot of people like counselors like that. They like to be able to go and just talk and, you know, work stuff through or whatever, you know, it's how they process or whatever. And all depending on who you get as your counselor, you know, are you getting somebody who has issues, who's seeing life through their lens? So they're going to have a skewed vision of everything. Do we need to be a mini one of them? No. So I think that, you know, you have to be very, very defined in yourself and your self-worth to be able to go through like a third party kind of for your own mental health. And I do think there's a lot of stuff you can do with just healing yourself. And I think that going and getting, like when I was trying to do it, but this is a long time ago, trying to just heal wounds and stuff. And, well, they, you know, still hold on to some. But I find it effective anyways to go and just read a lot of books, get a lot of different opinions, you know, sit with this stuff, see what resonates. But then you're getting a lot of different ways of dealing with it. You're not just getting one person. When you just go and you're spending way more on counseling than getting a bunch of books. And you have abilities to be able to decipher information for yourself and what makes sense to you. Just like when I read that gaslighting book, and I wasn't seeing what was wrong with them. I was seeing what was wrong with me, what part I played. And that's what, you know, that's what you're going to make the changes. Figuring out what your part is. What are your triggers? What are you doing to continue these patterns? Once you can start looking at yourself and figuring out what is the pain that you are causing to repeat these things, what are you trying to fix? And you go and you ask for eternal guidance, you know, and you internal, eternal, external, whatever kind of guidance that you feel you ask for it and you will receive it. And so if you ask the questions, then you will get the guidance. You just have to start recognizing it. But when you can start seeing that stuff, then that's when you can start healing it. And so I got to get back on track of what I was talking about. Drives me crazy. I got too many things coming in at once. When I start trying to get the things, then it just goes like, and I have to regroup. I'm expecting a delivery. So, anyways, I'm just gonna stop for a minute and see if I can figure it out.